Pete had an interesting comment. A year ago, you guys did not have the chance to put Vegas behind in a series. You have that chance tonight. Does anything feel different? Do you approach something different when you have an opportunity like that?
Yeah, I mean, that we made this a series. I think last year kind of got away from us. Even this year almost got away from us. So, well, obviously we expect their best tonight, especially at home. They're going to come out hard.
Ty used the word momentum and what you guys have built in those 2 games on the road in Vegas. Can you take momentum game to game? Is it possible to do that, or is that more of an in-game situation?
I think both. I think you can just create that by himself. Depends how the game's going. I mean, I think everything's just kind of a reset now. It's a best of 3, right? So just kind of taking game by game.
Is there a way to do that, taking momentum from one game to the next? You mentioned it's a reset, but you guys have done a lot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can continue the way you've been playing. I mean, just doing the same things, forechecking hard, getting the puck back, working, trying to limit offense against. I think that's what you can do to create that, and at home you might get even more momentum.
Tyler was saying a couple days ago that maybe Vegas is kind of what Pittsburgh was to Washington, that this is a group you need to get through just because of what they did last year. Do you guys feel that at all, that if you get past these guys, or they're one of the big hurdles you have to get through to get to where you want to go to?
Well, I mean, they're defending Cup champions, so not to mention, I mean, you got better at the deadline, so it's definitely a tough task. But I mean, all we're trying to focus on is winning tonight, and then going on from there and see what happens.
With their additions, do they look like a better team or feel like a better team when you're playing them?
I mean, they play some style. I mean, the coach staff, everything returned, same special teams. Obviously, they added some good players. But I mean, we all know their systems, what they want to do, and I think all their players play pretty much the same system. So it doesn't matter who's in their lineup; they're going to be playing fast and hard, and it's up to us to try to slow them down.
Is there any challenge to winning at home? I mean, the road team has won every game so far.
Yeah, it is a challenge winning at home. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is supposed to be home ice advantage, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything if you don't take advantage of it. So I definitely don't think just by coming home it's going to be any easier. Hasn't been these past for game 1 and 2, and even last year hasn't been easy. So I think I mean, it's great that our fans are here and we're ready to play hard and do stuff, but we obviously can't take our foot off the gas and expect our fans to win the game tonight. I mean, we gotta use that, and we're gonna use that momentum, but it's still gonna be a hard game.
That total fishing question, the Donov goal. Have you scored a goal like that off the mask, sharp angle?
Yeah, I have. On the opposite side, though.
So, is that you can't really practice that in practice because your goals will kill you? So, how do you practice that? Is that just an instinct? Is that just throwing it at the net, all the above?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you ask him, he'll say that he saw there was room up there and trying to put it in a tight spot. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not an easy shot to stop. Obviously, if you're a goalie, you're not expecting it. I've seen it a lot of times before. I mean, even a couple years ago, they scored against us. What was it, Game 7 in Calgary? Something similar like that. Yeah, so it's something similar. But, I mean, hey, the goalies are good. I mean, you got to make perfect shots, and that was one for us.
Reggie wouldn't mind if you would practice that on him, would he?
The usual question about the injured players are the forwards game time, and is Hakanpää different?
Yeah, Hakanpää is not playing tonight for sure. He's in rehab, recovering, starting to skate, doing some of those things, but he's further behind. The other 2 forwards skated and will be game time, yeah.
Obviously, it worked the last 2 games, but how long can you play essentially 5D? How long before that takes a toll?
Well, we played 5D, I guess, the last 2 games on the road. The first 2 games we didn't. It's a little easier at home with matchups and things like that. So, I lost in the Stanley Cup final or conference final when I was coaching Vegas to Montreal, and they essentially ran 4D the entire playoff just about. So I don't think there's a there's a rule that you have to play 6D even minutes or anything like that. I think, it just depends on the situation.
Pete, from the outside looking in, it appears you've gotten a fountain of youth with some of the seasons you've got from your veteran players.
Yeah.
But did you handle them differently from a practice perspective throughout the season and maybe down the stretch?
Well, I think that started last year. We came in here, and I think, and Jim providing the depth that we have allowed us to, manage everyone's minutes, particularly the veteran guys. Everyone's minutes decreased. We asked them to do more with a little bit less in the minutes department, and I think they all responded to that. We really manage our practice days and our off days. I don't think anyone understands. I didn't until I moved here how tough the travel is for Dallas. And I've lived in some tough travel places in San Jose and South Florida, and this is as tough a travel as there is. So, I think we pay extra special attention to that.
Just on the forwards, if they are healthy, how hard a decision is that right now? Because the guys you put in are playing very well.
Yeah, hard decisions. They're hard decisions, but good to have hard decisions this time of year.
Pete, when you watching some of the other playoff series, there's some time and space for teams to get out of the zone and break out. In this series, it seems suffocating. At the minute you get the puck in the defensive zone, either team, the forecheck is immense. How do you work through that? What's the game? How do you game plan for that kind of a series and that kind of a game?
Well, you just have to understand going in that that's how it's going to feel, and you've got to be comfortable in that type of game. You can't get impatient. You can't cheat to try and find ice that isn't there, because that always backfires on you. You've got to understand that, and I think we've understood that since we came into the series, that you got to have a 1-0, 2-1 mindset going into every game. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what the score is going to be, and it's going to look like that every single night, but that's got to be your mindset.
I know you haven't had a lot of power plays, but Pavelski's been quiet. Hintz was quiet until the empty netter. I think Sagan and Duchesne have had chances, but just haven't finished. Yeah. What can you do to get your top guys going?
Well, I would look at their list, and there's a list of guys on their key guys on their team that are the same. There's not a lot of room out there. I think, I look to last year's playoff run, and Jason Robertson went 2.5 rounds, not scoring. It's okay. You got to win games, and if it's 2-1, if it's 1-0, you don't have to. You're not going to put up the same numbers you put up during the regular season. You're going to have different guys that are going to step to the forefront. Your depth guys, like our guys did last game. That's okay. It's okay to go through a series and not score at the pace you scored at in the regular season, as long as you're winning.
Hey, Pete, back here. So much of the message leaving Dallas, going to Vegas, was back against the wall, players embracing that mentality, and it worked. What's the message to try to maintain that now that you have accomplished that goal, and here you are now with Game 5 tonight?
Well, now we've got to take advantage of the situation we worked to create, and that's a 2 out of 3 with home ice advantage, which we didn't have last year, and we didn't give ourselves a chance to be in this situation last year, getting in a 3-0 hole. So, we played this team now last year and this year and have not put them behind in the series at any point. So, that's the goal. And let's see how they react to that.
Now coming back to it, what's the feeling like and what's the difference?
I guess it's, pretty well polar opposite. We feel we have a lot of momentum right now, and, did our job of going there and winning 2 games as they did us here. So you got to forget about it fast and move on to a big one tonight.
You mentioned the word momentum. How difficult is that to carry it from one game to the next in a playoff series? Is it even possible?
Yeah, it's hard. A good start can help that. It's going to be, the first 10 minutes of tonight's game is going to be huge. So, it's hard to carry momentum, but, that's what the good teams do, is carry it through game in, game out.
You and Jake obviously are good friends. What are the conversations like after a game? if you're at home, or do you talk hockey? You stay away from hockey? Do you?
We stay away from it, I would say. Just kind of, doing life and, just having a good time, relaxing. Spending time with, his family or, his fiance. So yeah, we try to stay away from it.
TV shows? Anything in particular?
Yeah, TV shows. We usually have a show going together. We just finished one last night, so time to get a new one going.
What kind of discussions do you have after those? Is it
Just nothing. Just watching it, and then go our ways, go to bed. Yeah.
How much does golf enter the conversation realm with you and him?
Yeah. If there's a tournament going on, we're probably watching it. Yeah. So.
Is that a mutual decision or is that his decision?
I think it's mutual. Yeah. Maybe his. Yeah. He might like it more than I do. So. Yeah.
Do you go out with him golfing? Like he said, that's basically his way to relax.
Yeah. He goes out a fair bit. I go most times with him. Yeah.
Does it help you too?
Yeah, definitely a way to relax. I think just being outside in nature and soaking in some fresh air.
It can be such a frustrating game. It's funny to hear people relax with golfing because I know a lot of people don't relax with it.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe when once you get a little bit better and you get to just kind of relax more, it comes easier the more you do it. So yeah.